While standardized testing can be used as a valuable resource for measuring a student's literacy retention skills, it is not utilized to its fullest extent when students are given too long to be lazy during recreational periods, such as recess and lunch. If students truly want to boost the testing scores, they must cut back on these times of weakness as much as possible. This will allow students to learn much more about their core subjects in order to truly drive test scores up. Although many have criticized it for its apparent tactics of memorization, standardized testing can be used as a valuable resource for criticizing a student's literacy retention skill, which will require the student to spend as much time as possible inside of the classroom instead of the playground or cafeteria. This will allow students to learn much more about their core subjects in order to drive test scores up. I was able to talk to a student who is subject to large amounts of instructional time compared to recess.
I remember back in third grade, and I really didn't have too much of a desire to go out to recess. I didn't really see the point in it. Granted, it's supposed to be fun break time, but it's just not how it works for me. Honestly, I'm for the idea of, favoring the band for recess. Again, it focused more on just general studies and
In a world of increasing recreational time allotted for students, many students engage in different bouts of play. Many question how much it actually benefits the children, for if the children aren't taught in an adequately long time frame, students may not retain the knowledge taught to them by their teachers, which could hinder their general retention later for the state test.
You know, as a child, I really didn't want to go outside a lot. Not really for like recess. Oftentimes, whenever I would go outside, I'd really just play with like rocks and sticks. But
Thousands of students may feel opposed against a federal ban against recess and playtime, but those same students should look past the side that the recreational time is being cut, as it is being replaced with equally important time for students to learn more for their core subjects, which will significantly decrease stress levels the day on the test. Many, such as Tanya Moon within the National Research Center for the Gifted and Talented, criticize standardized testing for being a stressful period of student evaluation, introducing the effects of curricular narrowing on students, and even plotting down the predicted path of a student that may not correspond with how they might actually write. All of these variables are considered by many to not be acceptable tools in order to teach children. Thankfully, this issue can be resolved just by removing recess entirely from the student's schedule, which will ensure students get longer times of classroom instruction and even improve student motivation. Lunch periods could also be cut down to only 5 minutes. Not only does this ensure the student is quickly off to another class while still obtaining a sustainable meal, but it will also instill conditioning and discipline to the students, as this is a similar technique used in military basic training in order to condition soldiers to eat faster. Could be used to move students into their classroom to learn at a longer rate. This practice will also force students to condition themselves in the stress of eating in a shortened amount of time.
Since I was a young boy, I was encouraged by my parents to eat quickly so my siblings could enjoy the high chair. And while we weren't that rich, I felt like we could have afforded two more high chairs. What it did teach me though was to stay conditioned under stress. Now, if the school lunches were shorter, the students would seem less stressed than the relaxed ones because when students are relaxed, their work becomes less quality.
While standardized testing can be used to inflate student scores and make it appear students are more prepared for life than they actually are, standardized testing is the best option in order to truly hit all three problems. If anything, children should receive curriculum narrowing instruction more often, as it improves their literacy rates right before they take the test. According to the Farkas-Duffett Research Group, at least 60% of students in the U.S. are taught test-taking skills. This suggests that because it is widely implemented in the classroom around the country, it should be a valuable way to prepare students in order to get high test scores. Students must be limited further on their recreational time and recess and lunch. Students must also be conditioned to eat under stress, as a student who can keep their feelings under control will be able to better pace themselves on testing.